The fundamental difference between a human organization and an organism has already been noted by the Russian philosopher Vladimir Soloviev, who defined on one hand the mechanical and on the other the organic in the following way. Mechanical thinking is that which takes various concepts in its abstract separateness and considers therefore objects under some particular one-sided aspect and then compares them with each other externally or compares in some equally one-sided but more general relation. In contrast to this, organic thinking considers an object in its all-around wholeness and consequently in its internal connection with all other objects, which makes it possible to derive all other concepts from each separate concept or to develop one concept into the wholeness of the whole truth. So the intellect's desire to simplify is illustrated in the manifestation of our human organization. And unlike an organism of nature, our human organization is ordered by a repeatable structure based on transmitted quantitative ratios. And the most complex human structures are inferior to, for example, a snowflake in terms of originality of the structure, because the components of the former are standardized, while the standard of natural phenomena cannot be distinguished, given that it does not even have components in the form of separate units that then must be combined to construct a synthetic integration of creation. The famous German writer Tomasmann made the following interesting remark in this regard. And among these myriads of enchanting little stars in their hidden splendor, that was too small for man's naked eye to see, there was not one like unto another. An endless inventiveness governed by the development and unthinkable differentiation of one and the same basic scheme, the equiliteral, equi-angled hexagon. Yet each in itself, this was the uncanny, the anti-organic, the life-denying character of them all. Each of them was absolutely symmetrically regular in form. They were too regular, as substance adapted to life never was to this degree. The living principle shuddered at this perfect precision found in deathly the very marrow of death. Thus, one can only try to analyze a natural phenomenon, but in contrast to organized human activity, it cannot be synthesized. In this regard, we can say that a fallen leaf conceals more mysterious than all the structures of a metropolis. Accordingly, quoting Leibniz, the machines of nature, namely living bodies, are still machines in their smallest parts ad infinitum. Is this that constitutes the difference between nature and art, that is to say, between the divine art and ours? Or, as Roland Romain put it through the mouth of Jean-Christophe, art is the shadow man casts upon nature. So, what is not possible to synthesize is also not possible to analyze precisely, because there are no synthetic parts that you can synthesize as such. We do not even need to resort to the surrounding nature to make sure of this. It's enough to try to analyze our own body, for example, which after all is also a creation of nature and not the activity of our human organization, such as the clothing covering it. So where does the arm begin and where does the shoulder end?